Thank you so very, very much, Gasha Mengi, for that very interesting interview. If you missed it, please do catch us on YouTube at Y254, as well as other social media platforms, that is X, FB, Instagram, TikTok, and the likes. Hashtag of the day is Y in the morning. Now we're just going to get straight into it. In lieu of the upcoming International Women's Day, and apparently it's a whole week. I've just met a very lovely lady on our mother channel. She was up there. She's an honorable patana kwa corridor. She wished me a happy International Women's Week. So happy International Women's Week to you. Sijui kama nezambia boy child alafu useme nasema uko na mama, usinikasirikie mimi. I'm just repeating what I have had kindly. Yes, so I would like to go straight to the comments first before we continue with other things. And I have a panel of very lovely ladies, but before we reveal them, I want to just start with the comments, okay? Then we get into it. So the question of the day, according to admin, we're basically talking about female leadership. Now we are insinuating there is a gap because it is a man's world, and even in our political scene, we are still struggling to have the 2/3 rule, etc., etc. So swali ni je, tunafaa kuchangiaje kuempower ladies waingie leadership roles? Now, there's one that I want to start with. And I want to address you in particular. Douglas Morioki says, what a boring show. Yo, I just had to. That's how he started the conversation, okay? So Douglas Morioki ameanza convo hivyo, and then he said, do something in management. So Douglas, I am just here to inform you. Unajua kutojua si makosa. Sawa. Monday all the way through Friday, Y in the morning is on. Sawa. 7 all the way through 10 a.m. Now, we have different themes on different days. Mondays is usually politics, etc., etc. And then Tuesday, you'll find now what you're looking for: entrepreneurship, management, and these things. I don't know what is offending you. Maybe it's the topic because it's female-oriented or leaning towards the girl child and International Women's Day. I really do not understand whether the bone of contention is. But just so you know, there's something for everyone, okay? So Thursday, sana we'll touch on health. Tutakuwa na wasanii. We have very interesting conversations tomorrow. And Friday, we have a DJ. So if you just solely like entertainment, hashtag Social Friday is for you. Douglas, I hope tumekusaidia kwa siku ya leo. Ni sawa. We care about you. We do. Sawa. Hashtag Y in the morning. Dennis Mwenda Siasi says, Nkolok from Meru. Siasi, aka the humble child of God, Nkondani Aditamati. I see you. Musamali Meshak. Oh, hi. Says Lok. JJ Ozengo says Mumasani following and he's tuned. Twist Ngororo says, well present, sana tuned. Manwa Toloso says BG well represented. Moses Bavington. I see you. Meshap Kisilo says, count me in from Makutano Mwala. Nixon Milele says, Aki Nyinyi. And I remember Grace saying that. So with that, let us introduce our lovely ladies. Allow them to do so. Good morning.
Good morning.
Saseni.
Poa sana.
Unaona huku anything can happen at any time.
Sure.
Sumaona.
Yeah.
Kukuwa kwa mutandao ama hewani is not the easiest thing ever. Yeah? Please introduce yourself.
It's true.
I don't know. I'm honestly quite intrigued by his comment. That's why I made sure I read it out loud. I don't know what is offending him. I'm feeling it's the topic, but I could be wrong. But anyway, see, I've made sure I understand. Buffet kuna vitu mingi. Kuna place ya nyama, kuna place ya salad, misheveve pia iko. Kama bado tunaendelea na hiyo nini, there's something for you somewhere. Nika soko pia kuna nyanya, vitunguu nini, yeah. So, what's your good name, please?
Okay, my name is Susanna Malema. I'm a very passionate lady in matters women. Not necessarily due to tusikuwe judged. Not necessarily that the boy child doesn't appear into my vocabulary, but yeah. This is a week for women, especially we are yet to celebrate International Women's Day. And I'm very glad to speak about this topic. So I've trained in business management, and most of my duties are related to management and administration. Previously, I've worked for various NGOs. However, at the moment, I do consultancy in research and communication and administration. So I'm a jack of all trades.
Okay.
Yes, that's me.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm hearing some of the things that will help in this particular conversation.
Yes.
Okay. And you, lovely lady, good morning.
Thank you so much.
Unakaa smart bwana.
Thank you. You're Y254. We are live on air, and today is the game changer. My name is Faith Chebet. I'm a proud student of Egerton University. I do gender studies as the course.
Okay.
Yeah, and my interest is on community development, innovation, and I hope my skills can bring an impact to the community. Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, welcome. I see you people are serious. Nimeulizwa hadi kama hiyo ni Biblia. It's like you see how whipping it out. It is not in kwanza inakaa New Testament. Okay. It's notes, and I see mwenzake pia kuna notes. It's like it's about to go down, guys. It's like it's about to go down. So basically we are trying to figure out tunachangia aje one more time empower ladies waingie leadership roles. Remember, you can give us your thoughts pale Facebook, X, and them hashtag is Y in the morning. So first of all, I'd like to really understand, are we taking away from ourselves when we create roles such as parliament? Let's start with parliament, because parliament is always trending for some reason.
True.
Our political scene, we are still struggling with a 2/3 gender rule. But is it going against what we're trying to say when we have roles like women rep? Like lazima kuwe na women rep. Wewe ushaisikia kuna male rep? No, seriously.
No.
Hakuna.
No.
So for the male gender, it's either you're an MP, you're a governor, you're a senator, you're an MCA, etc., etc. Why is it specific for us that we must hatujichezi? We cannot just be MPs, we cannot just be governors or senators. We must have a woman rep. Nimeuliza swali ngumu.
Sio ngumu. It's a good observation you've made, and especially in parliament. Siasa, politics is not an easy game, and this one everyone knows, and especially in Africa, and let's maybe major in Kenya, and at the moment it's not parliament alone. We've got the Senate, where we have representation, kule mashinani. We've got the county governments. We have positions there. We have ward admin positions after the onset of devolution. So our culture, I can say our culture in leadership, and especially in politics, makes it a bit hard for us. I like using us because I'm a woman, but it makes it hard for women to take up roles politically easily. So you've just spoken about the 2/3 gender bill. If you check on our able politicians, and especially those who have been there prior and those who are there at the moment, the likes of Kina Millie Odhiambo, the likes of Kina Martha Karua, and all those women politicians who try to voice. For us, even to attain that 2/3 gender bill, I think we had to have some positions, unfortunately in quotes, like the women rep position, because tukikutana kwa debe, in real sense, kisiasa, there's that stereotyping of women. You have to fight. It's like you have to be a bad girl, the way Millie says, so that you can get those spaces.
It's true.
So we have to fight for it. No one will give you just like that. No one will give you leadership politically in Kenya or in Africa. It's not just an easy thing. So you have to fight for it. And how can you fight for it? You just have to be vocal. Just have to create those spaces like the women repositions, yeah, so that we can be at least at par, yeah, with the gents. That's what I can say.
Okay.
Yes.
Before I want to ask the same question, but I want to balance it with something that I want to read out. So this is equality versus equity. Equality means each individual or group of people is given the same resources or opportunities. That's equality. Equity recognizes that each person has different circumstances and allocates the exact resources and opportunities needed to reach an equal outcome. So if it was a diagram, kuna watu wawili wanajaribu kuangalia off a fence. So equality is mrefu ndio ataona, mfupi atachanganyikiwa kidogo. Equity means we put a step ladder, or we put something, building blocks, and then he steps and then everyone sees. So do we want as women in leadership, I don't know why that was in air quotes, do we want equity or equality?
To my opinion, we want equality.
You want equality?
Yeah.
So you're of the school of thought that says what a man can do, a woman can. Hey, I'm not even finished. In fact, finish this sentence for me. What a man can do?
A woman can do it better.
What a man can do?
A woman can do it better.
Okay.
Yes.
Why do you think that?
I think like both of them should be given chance because they have different ideas on how they can rule people.
Okay.
They can bring out decisions and better plans.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you feel if we were given each the same resources,
Yeah.
exact same resources, that we would shine as a gender. You look like you have something to add.
Yeah, sure. I just want to add something small. Actually back her sentiments. Equality is what matters. It shouldn't be as though that we are being helped. It's like without that ladder, women cannot be there. We can be there. As long as the ground is leveraged for us all, and there should not be corruption, of course. There should be fairness and just reality. If a woman has done it better, just give credit.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
that's what I wanted to say. So equality is the real thing. And in leadership, most women, when they fight for those spaces,
Okay.
they do it even much more. They lead much more better than even men. I'm not being biased. But that's an
Speak your
observational
truth.
thing.
This is a safe space. Talk to me, Faith.
Yeah. One thing I want to add
Okay.
on that point is that women, there is still this stereotyping of gender stereotypes. There is still these gender norms in the society that a woman cannot lead, cannot do something without a man. So this brings out the discrimination. So when there is equality, women may benefit in those fields of leadership. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, I have very specific questions to touch on what you have just said. But first of all, let's go back to the facts. I like coming with receipts. It's helpful. It's very helpful. Ndo mtu hapo akisikia some type of way, it is okay. Guys, this is a safe space. You can also tell me what you're feeling. Unaona hata mwenzako kuna mtu hapa amesema kitu na tumemunderstand tu. Ama ni samosa ilikuwa imemkasirisha, but anyway. So, I have this from the AP. Let me do it. The site is called apa.org. So this is a psychology website and talks about women and girls. So the headline is very biased, but I'm going to read it out loud anyway. So women leaders make work better. Here's the science behind how to promote them. Yes? All right. So skipping to the most important part, it says decades of psychological research confirm that when women are empowered to take leadership positions, the effects can be metamorphic for everyone. So basically, a lot of change can happen. So first point is female leaders demonstrate more transformational leadership styles. Number 2, women are now seen as equally or more competent as men. That's where we just come from with the ladies. Then the next point is team collaboration is greatly improved by the presence of women in the group. I have no idea why. We're going to look into that. Women rank better than or equal to men in 7 of 8 traits. We'll look at those 7 to 8 traits. Then the mere presence is another point. The mere presence of a female leader relative to a male leader leads perceivers to anticipate fair treatment. So if you see a woman in leadership, you feel that you would be treated fairly according to the science that I am reading. So appointing, another point, women to top tiers of management can even help mitigate deep-rooted stereotypes that are expressed in language. This is a 2022 study. There's a whole nini. I'll give you the website to check it out, or you can just Google. Yes. So, ladies, we are back to you. So you've heard a couple of points, and mali tulikuwa tumemalizia is what a man. Women are now seen as equally or more competent as men.
Sure.
So my specific question, after reading a couple of points I will still go back to, is if you want equality, na mmesema umtaki equity, you want equality, you want the same ground. You don't want yours to be raised a bit, You want the same ground. So why do we have women reps? That is not equality. Like I've said, there's no male reps. Hakuna.
Okay. I would say your point might be right and at the same time wrong.
It is okay to disagree.
Yeah, it's okay to disagree. And when we disagree, that's when we can get
Somewhere.
somewhere.
Yes, progress.
Yes. When you check into the positions, especially in parastatus before, so we've been fighting before. This position of women rep has not come in like 10 years ago, 20 years ago. It wasn't there. If you check very well, if you're someone who follows politics, we've been having, in most organizations or in most political setups, the notion is, or the organization structure believes that the topmost position should be for a male figure. And women have been fighting, even when it comes to voting, for these positions to be created. It has been voting for the 2/3 representation of women in parliament, but it has never sailed through easily. So I think it's a strategy. One thing I always say, these are personal sentiments. Mawe usirushwe sana, but these are personal sentiments. These are personal sentiments. And I believe probably there are those who share the same school of thought as I do. If you're not given, if it's not given to you, no one will spoon feed it to you. You can fight for it in any way. Yes, fight for that space. If they cannot allow you to be in that topmost position, how can you push your agenda if you're not there? So fight and see how another position can be created where you can all be at par or leverage. So that's what I believe. And I think through the fights that have been there, voting has been done. Men will not vote for 2/3 representation. I don't know if it's because of fear of what women can do. You know, we are very realistic, we are very factual.
That's very interesting. Okay.
Yes, we are very factual, we are true. When we want to lead, to give back, we do it wholeheartedly. So I think it's not being unfair, so to say, to the male gender, but it's just fighting. We encourage women to fight for that space. And if it's not created, if you cannot be at that table, use any other means for you to reach there. And I think that's why that's why the women rep position is there. And you can see what the women reps are doing, and especially in parliament. Yes.
We are agreeing to disagree.
Yeah.
Talk to me. I want to ask you on this. If it was a coin, I want to ask you on the other side. Do you feel like when women are striving to be leaders in whatever capacity, whether it's in a company or in the political scene, or just anywhere, you know, do you feel like they have to lose their femininity? Ata politics, kuna watu wanaitwa the 5 bearded sisters. Why are they called bearded? Yani, kichwa ni ngumu. By the time they were making noise in the political scene, that they were acknowledged that, yeah, by the way, they were called the 5 bearded sisters. Do we have to usurp the characteristics of men? Do we have to be masculine to sound firm and assertive?
Okay, what I have to say is that for women, they must be bold. Leadership needs bold people. People who can speak ideas, people who can face challenges. No, in reality, women, most of the women are emotional. Like they might apply emotional in the leadership, but in leadership, it really needs a lot of boldness. Even if it is emotional, it must be emotional intelligence, because this is a society that is patriarchal. Many kind of works and many places zimekuwa dominated na the males. Yeah, so we need females who are very bold and very outgoing, people who can speak, who can speak out and be heard.
Okay.
Yeah.
So speaking out, does that mean I have to lose my softness, so to speak? Because I kind of relate femininity to a certain kind of softness. So do you have to lose that to be a leader?
Yeah, in the right way.
What is the right way?
The right way, like in maybe in decision making. No, women are very not fast in decision making as men.
Really?
Not really fast.
Wait, just hold it. Do you agree?
I disagree.
Why?
First of all, I'll approach it. Yochebet, she's
Yeah,
Chebet, yeah. I'll approach it from the bit that you asked about. Should we tone down our femininity and
Actually,
kind
thank
of
you for saying toning down, yes.
yeah, it's toning down in leadership and acquire kind of some masculinity so as to be relevant in leadership, to be heard rather. Yeah. So I disagree. It shouldn't be that the case. Your femininity nature as a woman should be there. The thing is, you have to be bold and vocal enough. And some people will judge a woman who is vocal as someone who is kichwa ngumu. I don't know, someone who is can't be tamed, so to speak, in quotes, but that's not the case. So we should not tone down the femininity bit about us, because you have to be that woman. You're not trying to be someone else, but you're trying to, by what you can do is you can try to borrow what the other gender exhibits in leadership and try to merge it with what you have. Yes, and you see, when you put the qualities of a woman as a leader and you merge with whatever you've acquired from the other space, then you can be a very great leader as a woman. And I don't think we should there's something she said and then you disagreed, we disagreed. We don't need to tone down and try to shy off. No, that's not the case.
I would like to put out a disclaimer, first of all, that I really do not believe that all genders are the same. Like, I cannot stand and say that all men are the same. Usually, all men are dogs. I did not graduate. The same way, I would like us to understand that all females are not the same. And however, the blanket, how to say, characteristic of women is to nurture, yes? Tunaza, watoto. You give a woman a house, she makes it a home, etc., etc. But not all women are like that. But isn't the fact that they are nurturing in nature, na nimesema they as if I am not part, but anyway, let's just disassociate for a little bit. If their very nature is to nurture, then does that not make women or ladies immediately viable for leadership roles?
It is a strong point. It does make them viable for leadership. Just the bit about them being persons who can nurture, it means that whatever they touch, whatever they handle, or whatever they bring forth will definitely multiply, will definitely grow. People will see the impact of what they have nurtured. So, yeah, I concur with your statement. Yeah, anything that yes, it's not all of us that have got that, can I say, can I use the word moral? I don't know, for lack of a better word. But I know women have been profiled, or other ladies have been profiled as people who want to be pushed so as to get somewhere. But currently, that's not the case. If you just focus in the present world, I was joking with someone the other day and telling them during the Gen Z protests, I was in town, and at that time I was working, so within the CBD, and I was upstairs and I was checking through the window and I was looking at those who were in the front line, and most of them were young girls, and I was like, no one pushed them from their safe spaces to come there. Yes, so they believe they know what they're advocating for.
Okay.
Yes.
I like what you've brought into the conversation. Faith.
Yes.
Sasa wewe, nataka uniongeleshe. I want you to construct very long sentences and help me understand, because you're studying gender, yes?
Yeah.
And she's brought something interesting into the picture, which is generation
Yes.
gap. So perhaps the females or the women who have been the X's, the boomers, the Y's, perhaps maybe millennials, I think I don't even know these letters anymore, but Apple millennials, maybe the idea of leadership or the idea of being vocal is not the same with this generation now, with Generation Z. And if you actually look at Alpha, now the Utututoto, the ones that are 12 years old, they are so mature. I do not remember being that mature at their particular age right now. So do you think now generation, not even age, generation, is that a factor when we're talking about leadership, especially in women?
Yeah, it's a factor because it depends on how you're exposed there outside. Yeah. For example, the Gen Z, the Gen Z are really facing hardship. They have seen how the economy is, and all. They are really suffering here outside. So, yeah, it's a factor. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to throw this at you, and this is something that I was reading on a particular social platform. It's called Reddit. Reddit, watu wa Reddit. Kwanza Reddit Kenya, it's very late. Salamu kwenu. Was tumangi salamu, but salamu kwenu. So I saw a couple of scenarios that ladies have posted up there, and I will chalk it up to, or I'll connect it with leadership in a bit. But you'd find a lady, the most recent one I read, she was just walking around, not exposed in any way. Akina might just my choice, but she was not exposed in any way. But she was harassed on the way. Na mwanaume alijifanya hata hajafanya kitu. He's passing by and interfering with my privacy, coming into my space. And the lady went away feeling ashamed, The other thing was also almost similar, but this particular gentleman did it in public. But the way this lady handled it, she said, oh, you're going to infringe my privacy, I will also infringe yours. So in leadership, when someone, because Faith brought up something about emotions, that's biology, when we cannot fight it. Tulipata hapa na tutaiacha hapa, yes? So what happens when you're in a position of leadership and you're making a very firm point, or you're making very executive decisions, if maybe I'm firing or hiring someone, and then you hear someone chalking it up to, ay, ama ni siku yako, is it that time of the month? How would you handle that? And is it fair?
It isn't fair. It's quite unfair. And I would say this, the word is bold. Women need to be bold, and especially when they are in top positions or in leadership or in any setup where they are supposed to lead. So in case probably another thing that I always want to say is that women should be very much educated. Let's know our rights. When you know your right, no one can kind of bulldoze you. No one can take advantage of you because you are able to voice up and speak up and warn them. And when you have a voice, you see, women are just the way Faith said. Women, most of them are sometimes felt as though that they are calm, they are inferior, so to say. But that's not the case. So once you know your rights, and once you know that this should not happen, and you are ready to defend yourself, you are ready to speak up for yourself, nothing like that can happen. No one can take advantage of you. No one can kind of sexually molest you. Yeah.
How are you feeling? You want to raise your hand here, you can just speak freely.
I have a question, niko na swali.
Okay.
What if huyo mama mwenye anaenda maybe it is in terms of employment, and it is a fellow lady, amekuja in form of work and she has messed up or anything, she never attended work or anything, reporting. What if the reason why I'm saying the woman is emotionally intelligent, it means like she will consider she's from the same gender. So there will be no need for her to demote her, for example.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I was saying women are emotionally intelligent. She will consider some factors. Maybe it is because of what she has just said. Yeah. Or maybe she was pregnant, maybe something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so one of the points I was reading out is that the mere presence of a female leader relative to a male leader, it perceives to anticipate fairer treatment. So if I was late for work, the assumption here is if my superior or my supervisor was female, she would not be quick to reprimand me, she'd ask.
It is true.
But
It is
you,
true.
you are sure, guys, now this is the same set how many times, show after show, we keep trying to demystify this
Yeah.
idea that women do not like other women.
No.
That
that's-
we're always fighting each other for some. Talk to me. Yes, Faith, finally, we're getting to you. Uh-huh.
She will not be quick to make decision. Hata kutoa tu saizo kwa kazi mbio mbio. She will think, she will have a second thought. Maybe this and that could have happened. Yeah, exactly.
So this is the nurturing, am I just because they're more fair? Or back to your emotional intelligence?
Yeah, emotional intelligence,
Okay.
and they are slow in decision making. She will consider some factors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not necessarily slow, but women are critical in terms of making decisions. Yes, it's very critical. Before you put a judgment, or rather before you give a judgment, or before you just conclude a matter, you want to dig deep. Women will always dig deep and want to know. If it's, let's say, on a HR function, in a scenario that you've just brought, it's at a work setup, someone has come late, you're in the top position. No, I don't think if a woman will be very quick to judge you and bash you. I think they'll give you, unless it's just a notorious employee, maybe you've been served with a first warning, second warning. Yeah, when you want to come and speak, then there'll be question marks there. But what I would wish to say is, let's say, for example, in a work setup, women are not enemies of themselves. However, we don't want to say there are cases that are contrary to this phrase, because I've been in a setup where women try to bring each other down. And that's what we want to try, or rather in the present generation, we want to try and say that, please, you don't need to compete, you don't need to fight, you need to work together harmoniously, because if you want now to take these spaces, then you have to work as a team, as women. But when you hate on each other, then it will be very hard for you to acquire what you want in your space. Yes.
Do you feel the same? I want to believe in my years of living, competition is just a natural response to life.
It is.
And I feel like there's a healthy version of competition.
True.
So such that if Faith was promoted today and we're in the same position, it would force me to look at myself. I was listening to this particular podcast, this guy called Jay Shetty. Now his wife also has a podcast. So they were going back and forth talking about success and feel the idea of jealousy, or the notion of I won't say negative competition. But if Faith was promoted and we're the same position, we're doing the same thing, the question should be to me, what does she know that I don't know? What is she spending more time doing or understanding? Because life is about patterns. So what pattern have you understood that has got you that promotion? Versus, I saw Faith doing something, acha niende nikakurecord, this digital age, I just record you doing something silly and then post it. And now you've trended for no absolute reason, and now we have to check your contract. Yes.
You're very right there.
Uh-huh.
Yes, you're very right. It should be about. It should be about.
Umshike pia wewe. Unaona venye amechukua hiyo nini?
Yeah. It should be about applauding others, celebrating them. Yes. It shouldn't. You want to learn now from them, and then you can now want to shadow a fellow woman who is in the top position, because by that, then you can be able to get to know, be their friends, get to know, how did you acquire this, how did you reach here. It's more of a friendship thing. Yes, you celebrate, then want to learn, then go back to the drawing board, evaluate, and kind of vet yourself and say, hata mimi naweza fika hapa. Yes. I think that's how it should be.
Yes,
The
talk to me.
point, the point
Look how
is,
happy I am.
yes, the point is, women should be united. They should come together to uplift each other, for them to be on top positions. No need of like something like jealousy, what. They should uplift each other. Yeah, the success of one woman, they are the top, should be my happy and should be my role model. For example, in Tanzania, the way you see how the cooperation that is there that made Sulu, to be on top of that position. It's unity. It's a matter of unity that can just bring women, a lot of women, to leadership and uplift more women in leadership.
Although, I agree with what you're saying. She became president out of a technicality.
Sure.
But unaona kila mtu has fallen in line. You've not had them having a coup or something. You've not seen them going to the streets talking about, oh, a woman this, a woman that. But do you think Kenya is ready for a female president? Just the other day, the previous elections, we had Martha and Baba. But Martha was the running mate. If Martha was running for presidency, hey, Benjamin has already categorically shouted in my ear, it's not possible. It's not possible. Do you think, because literally, wachara tusiende hizi ma West African and even Italy, the prime minister is female. Sawa, tusiende huko sana, hapa tu Tanzania. But do you think Kenya is ready for a female president?
Yes, it's ready. Why don't we try it? We just give
Hii
it a
si
chance.
kujaribu bwana. Some things you don't enter trying, you enter
No,
to
it's
do.
ready because the past years kumekuwa na the male gender wakiwa part of the presidency, the seat. But this coming election, why should we not just give another female, another gender a trial? Because we no. Okay, no.
I want you to understand that my job is just to spin it a little bit, give you a different perspective. So if you see it as 6, maybe to itani kai 9. So literally it was history being made when we accepted, or the vote was so close when a woman was the running mate, the chosen running mate for that particular party, yes? I don't think we've had that before. So do you think we are ready to change that dynamic to sema, huyu ndio ata?
Yes.
Previously it has been so near yet so far. However, we've had people like the Honorable Ngelu go for this position. Yeah, and they were not number last, if I'm correct. Martha has gone for it, Martha Karua, the Iron Lady, and she has never been number last. There are people who trailed. And Baba gave us a chance, the Honorable Raila gave us a chance by choosing Martha. That was so nice. And I believe the two, that pair worked so hard and worked so well, and I'm very sure that if we had now a man to propose a lady, unfortunately that's how I think it works. If yes, Baba chose Martha, if we can have a top politician, those who are coming competitively, let's say even our current president, if he'll be going for the next term, yeah, which he will be going, if he picks a woman and now turns it the way you said, and he says we support, you know, it's about kuuza sera zako. Yes, and I believe that with the support that should be there, the thing that we should, I like saying is, truth be told, women still need to work hard and get so much support so that they can be up there. But politically, yes, if we can have a lady who is there to take this position, not waiting again to be proposed, but you say, ni mimi niko hapa nimejituma. Yeah, it's possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I want us to touch on 2 things before we finish, because clearly when we have things to say and it's passionate a little bit, time just seems to fly by. Yeah? Now, funny thing is, when we were discussing this topic 2 weeks ago with one of my directors, it's called Georges. So Georges, I presented the idea to him, and the first, and he laughed because I sent him the question. So he laughed. He thought thought you were asking me. I'm like, I wasn't. It was a topic. But should I have asked you, what would your answer be? My question was, why don't we have very many female leaders in whatever socio-economic gap or political gap? And you know, the first thing he said to me, ni wasichana siku hizi hawataki work hard, wanataka kuwekwa na wababas. I did not think of that completely. Like, mi nilikuwa serious. Taken out. No, venye mmejiami na notes. Yeah, that was my point. That was my point of view, my POV. Then he came and told me, ama ni tu wasichana hawataki kufanya kazi. Siku hizi tuko na akina Cardi B. I don't cook, I don't clean. Sasa wewe sasa ndo tutamwambia what do you think? Do you think there's that we don't want to, tunataka tu kuwekwa?
Kwanza, leadership. What is leadership? Like understanding ya wasichana kukuwa leadership ni nini. For anybody can become a leader. Even the mama mboga there outside can become a leader. So I think girls can be leaders. Unaona kama Governor Susan Kihika. Kama tunaweza kuwa na governor wa Nakuru, Susan Kihika, what about what about the president? It's still very possible.
Wewe ndio alikuwa ameenda maternity leave juzi.
Yeah. And tunaona kazi venye anafanya. Yeah. And it has a very big impact to the community. So mimi nasema mbona isiwezekane? Inawezekana.
Aha. Okay. Versus umesema senator, but tumeenda politics, and I think that's where female leadership comes into light as a country. Acha tutoke to politics kidogo. Let's go to something that's trending nowadays, influencers, yeah? Because nowadays you would find even a brand would rather advertise with an influencer versus traditional media, you know? So someone like, in fact, Prof ndo alikuwa ananiambia, we're going back and forth and saying, someone like Njugush, his manager at sijui kama aliacha, alikuwa bibi ya nani, Mkuru. Yeah. Mkuru sahi bibi yake I think bado ni manager yake. Yes. Triomio msanii, his manager is his mom. Yeah. So are we saying female leadership is good only in a certain area? We're only good at creative. Tell me why you're refusing so vehemently. Talk to me.
Twende kwa music industry. For example, in drama, the drama queen Akode. She's a good example of a leader to many women, and a very good inspire to women who can have self-employed, yani wa kujitegemea, mwanamke wa kujitegemea. Sasa simaanishi kwamba wanawake tu peke yao ndo wanaweza fanya vizuri sana kwa sekta ya uongozi. Pia wanaweza fanya vizuri kwa uimbaji. Tumeona waimbaji wengi pia sana na pia drama, and a very good of them, a very good number of them wamefanya vizuri sana. Yes.
Okay. And how are you feeling about the same? Do you feel like women can be leaders or can shine as leaders only in specific sectors? And mind you, we've once had a conversation here about STEM, science and them and math and engineering, and we said women are still flourishing in these STEM careers.
True.
So do you feel like perhaps maybe society imesema wewe kama hauko home science, wachana na hizi vitu zingine, you're a nurturer, take care of the home. In fact, if you Google roles of women sai, the first thing you see is cooking. It's very...
That's number one.
So are you feeling that we are only talented in one particular area?
Not really. I disapprove that. Women are all round. That's the word I could use. Women are all round. Go to any sector, starting from machinani, even the home setup. You see, leadership begins even from the home setup. Normally it's said mzee, or rather the husband, or if it's a married woman, because we still have people who are women who are single or men who are single. But leadership for women starts from ground. You know, women are leaders all over. They're all around, not just politically. When you go to the STEM world, you've just picked at the present form of education that CBC, it encourages the girl child to go for, I think, a choice of what they want. And I'm a mother of a JSS girl, and when I go to the school and I happen to interact with her classmates and other students and pupils, I've come to discover, because that's a mixed school, comprehensive school. So I've come to discover, even if you check out the performance of those who want to go and do STEM, a good number, actually more than half, it's not 50-50. And even the performance, you get it's the ladies. You even go in the corporate world. Yeah, in the corporate world, women are doing well. Recently, I was seeing Sylvia, I think it's the former marketing, Safaricom marketing. I don't know if she was in communication. She's doing so well in MTN Uganda. And when I was in Uganda the other day, I think it was in November last year, I happened to meet her in one of the forums. They were driving an initiative to promote the women, kule mashinani, those who are doing small business SMEs, MSMEs. And she has encouraged so much women in the Buganda culture, actually. gone East Africa,
Wale wa
women
kupiga
are a
magoti.
bit, yes. So I saw she brought in something to do with having women being empowered, both agriculturally, in the agricultural sector, both in the home sector, in the corporate world, politically, and in all those spaces. Yes. So women don't thrive in leadership in a particular setup. And if maybe they are not visible in leadership in a particular setup, which maybe is dominated by the other gender, the male, you will see them struggling. At least you won't miss one that was just imposed there, but a woman who climbed herself. Yes.
All right, so I want to conclude. I feel I should be concluding right about now. To conclude with two questions, I hope that are two different sides of the same coin. So we have seen that, in a summary, if you're going to take anything away from this conversation, if we said women in leadership need to be bold.
Sure.
Yes, we need to at least borrow, I like how you said borrow, a certain type of characteristic from the male gender to be heard, so your voice makes an impact. You need to be emotionally intelligent.
Sure.
Yes, you need to be very self-aware. Now, these recipes are not for a recipe for disaster. These ingredients are not a recipe for disaster. Because the next thing utasikia ni, sasa nani atakuoa? Surely. Nani atakuoa na kierere kama hiyo?
Point on that.
Tell me.
Women can multitask.
Okay.
Compared to men. See, women can multitask because wanaweza fanya kazi za nyumbani at the same time wanafanya kazi vizuri kwa kazi. They do their work well. So I can't see the point why atakosa kuolewa for any other reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in your scenario of that we can handle a female president in Kenya, so if what another thing is, hata venye tu tunawaita female president, not just president, ni kama actor na actress. Hiyo kitu hunisumbua akili because you don't hear a doctor and doctress. Daktari ni daktari, sawa. Sa actor pia ni actor. Teacher, mwalimu ni sawa. These female things I don't understand. So if the president happened to be the gender of female, you understand the husband would be the first husband. Venye sahi kuna first lady, ujue sasa kuna first husband. So you want to tell me as Africans, we are ready. Mwanaume aseme, by the way, I am the first husband. Bibi yangu anako hapo anapeana speech, mimi kazi ni kumpigia makofi. Makofi.
It's very possible.
Alafu kumbeke pia watakuletea verse ya Bible, wives submit.
Okay. Tukifika nyumbani ni mambo mengine tofauti. Nikienda kazi,
uaibishe bwana yako, yani you're more famous. Yani wewe ukiongea yeye lazima nyamaza.
Sasa hiyo ni norms. Hizo ni norms nye mmeweka tu kwa akili. Gender norms za kitambo. But we are in the present day. Sasa mwenye atakuwa anafikiria hivyo, atakuwa anafikiria yani it's not realistic.
He is backwards.
It is biased. Yes, like tukifika kwa nyumba, I just submit, I humble, I am a wife. Tukiwa huku nje, mimi nachapa kazi.
Niko job.
Yeah.
Okay. So another one I'm hoping, like I said, is another side of the same coin. Behind every man, finish.
There's a successful woman.
Thank you. So kazi yetu ni kuwa behind.
Not really. It's just a phrase. I don't know who coined it, but yes, it might be true. Which is true. Actually, it is true.
So we should stand behind.
We shouldn't stand behind.
And funny thing, there's nothing about a man being behind a successful woman.
In that phrase.
Kama mwanamke ni successful, ako successful. But if a man is successful, there must be a successful woman.
Unfortunately, that's the perception. But it's not the case.
Okay.
Yes, it's
Kwa
not the
ground
case.
kukwaje?
Vile ground eco. Most women have become successful by themselves. Ni wachache tu pengine. Not saying that men pia hawajakuwa supported. And that's why maybe the phrase that behind every successful man, there's a woman. But again, I want to say this. Wanawake wale ambao wako katika hizo nyadhifa za uongozi, wengi wao wamejitosa katika ulingo pengine wa uongozi, whether ni kisiasa, ama pengine katika taasisi mbalimbali, but it's because out of the will and the urge from them. Na wengine, most of the women that are in leadership position, maybe if there's something that we didn't touch on, neither of us, wengi wanapatiwa pia your moral support, and the moral support sio necessarily itoke kwa mwanaume. Inaweza toka kwa wanawake wengine, probably on social media. Like personally, mimi, I thrive so much on social media, and especially LinkedIn. I go and shadow women that I see there, I read their profiles, and that's what most women do. Alafu unaangalia pengine, you know, the small chamas that we say. Leadership begins from there. Unapata tu kuna yule anajua tu how to be a treasurer, kuna ule tu anajua to be a chair lady, kuna ule tu anajua how to be a secretary. So you get, most of these women have been pushed, not necessarily by a man, but they have walked this journey. And once they're in these spaces, the way Faith just said, women are not, wakiwa into leadership, hawana iyo mawazo. The thoughts in them are not that sasa niko hapa, I need to be seen like this or respected or treated like this. Utapata hata akiwa pale, it's very easy for a woman to acknowledge their husband if they are married, a spouse, and if they are not married, some of them will even acknowledge their dads, they will acknowledge their brothers, and anyone who has been with them in this journey of leadership. But wakitoka kwenye leadership, and they are now back, if they are maybe a mother, they are a wife, they are probably a caregiver, a guardian, they'll be very different. Yes, they are leaders, but they'll not exhibit the authoritative nature that they have, or rather they hold wakiwa kwenye kazi. Yes.
So, by definition, women can wear different hats. So nikienda hapo nje, I'm wearing one hat. If I'm in the house and I'm supposed to be a mother and a wife, or ni gani na come first, wife kwanza alafu mother. Okay, whichever comes first for you.
We can juggle them.
Pia nisikusaidia kufikiria hapo. So different hats. Do you feel the same, Faith?
To add on her, firstly, those women who want to be leaders are those who are out of their comfort zone. Yani mwanamke ambaye amejituma. Why should the husband be like against that? And she's really outgoing, amejituma huku nje. Like recently I just participated in EUSA election. These are elections that take place in the Egerton, okay, in the university. Now, for you to get votes, for people to hear, to vote for you, they must see what you have, your vision, your everything. Like, are you eligible for that position? So mi naweza sema ni mwanamke kujituma na kujitoa kwa comfort zone ndo inaweza changia sana yeye kuwa leader.
All right, thank you so very much. I think it is now our given time to leave. I don't know if we have a couple of comments left, ni some mbio, but I really hope that we have enlightened you in some way or another. But I really would like to believe that maybe one day, as two different, najua squeeze gender ni mingi, but if we were just to focus on the two, male and female, if a man is okay with being with a woman who earns significantly more, ni sawa, then maybe we can start thinking about a female president. But kama kuna mwanaume haezi kubali ati wewe you're earning 2 million and na mimi na earn 50,000, si umenikalia?
Sasa si atupatie sababu mbona akataa.
The reasons, yeah.
The reason.
I can tell her generation by the way she's talking.
Yes, reasons.
Mimi naleta, yeye analeta. So
Yes.
difference ni gani na tunakula?
So wewe you're advocating for 50-50.
Yeah.
What you akikuuliza what you bring to the table, hata wewe what are you bringing to the table? Meza bora ijae.
That's the point. At the end of the day,
it shouldn't be a do or die situation, but it's about to agreeing na mnajua ni nini mnataka in the scenario that you're saying. Let's say for example ni bwana na bibi. It shouldn't be that it's competition. Yeah, whether I'm earning actually a woman who is even earning better than a man is a plus to the man, and this one needs to be supported much more. So in the na pia isiwe tu ati it should be 50-50. When you look into it as though it should be 50-50, then you're going astray. It shouldn't it should be planning. I believe in planning. Tuketi. Maybe mimi ninaweza fanya hii, ninaweza fanya hii. Tunaweza saidiana aje. And we even have men maybe who would not want still, I don't know if it's culturally the African culture, but at the moment I think such things are ceasing to exist. But you'll get someone doesn't want, even if I'm earning a lot, they still want to feel as though ni hao wana provide. Unaona?
Now see, there's no end or beginning to this conversation. Yes. But next time we're going to start with that. Yes, perhaps maybe who takes control of what, who is the head, who is the sijui neck, body parts, but bora the functions zote. Anyway, thank you so very much both for coming. Would you please give us your social media handles? You said you thrive on social media.
Yes, I just go by my names, Malema.
Okay.
Sue, Facebook.
Okay.
I'm not on YouTube. TikTok, Phenomenal Sue.
Okay.
LinkedIn, Malema Sue, or Sue the admin.
All right. And yes. Faith, I like that, Phenomenal Sue. And Faith?
Faith Bet, this on X, then on TikTok, also on Instagram. Yes.
All right.
So, to conclude, men can give emotional support. Si lazima pesa.
Hey! Support. Yo umeanza vita ingine. Kindly please. Yo vita umeanza ni ingine tofauti. Now I have something very special to dedicate. Imagine Benja just hold it. Surely jameni at Y254 Facebook channel on X, Y254_channel on Instagram. There's someone very special we want to tell happy birthday for some reason. Anaitwa Maureen Ndekere. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday from myself and my panel. Georges, nimefanya kenye uliniambia nifanye. But in the meantime, guys, please, we urge you to have a phenomenal day like Phenomenal Sue. And please keep it here on Y254. Just because we're in the morning in Maisha does not mean you should change that dial, all right? So from myself, Valentine, and Grasha Maingi, we wish you a fantastic day. Bye-bye.